Good afternoon, I'm Carolyn Callahan. A Perry man was hurt this morning in a rollover crash on the interstate. The sponsor of one of those bills is upset, saying her bill has nothing to do with abortion rights. The manager of a Chinese restaurant in Waterville is waiting to be sentenced after pleading guilty to federal charges of harboring illegal aliens. Governor LePage's new public schools grading plan has a lot of people talking. Now that the report cards have been made public, school officials are saying it's the governor who needs to hit the books. Kidnapping a young man at gunpoint, forcing him into the trunk of a vehicle, and driving to Delaware before letting him go. Police say a 4-year-old brought a loaded handgun to his daycare in Hallowell. A school bus driver in Sydney is being credited with saving a child's life. 47-year-old Nathan Philbrick used the Heimlich maneuver on a little boy who had candy stuck in his throat. Lawmakers in Augusta found themselves in a stalemate this afternoon while once again debating several bills related to gun control. The largest multi-state Powerball jackpot in history has been hit, but the multi-million-dollar question still remains. Who is the winner? But she wasn't aware of what he was doing behind her back. Thanks to the internet, now lots of folks know. We don't know much about Kyle Doobie right now, but what we can tell you is that his Facebook page has posts saying "Find Nicole," has her picture up there. That's Kyle Doobie's Facebook page, and he's now charged with her murder. It's been 7 weeks, and we've been trying to get information on this case, and now police are finally saying something. 31-year-old Nicholas Sexton of Rhode Island and 34-year-old Randall DeLuce of Massachusetts are each charged with 3 counts of murder and 1 count of arson. Catherine Nicole's mother says she went out to the driveway and met someone she only knew from Facebook. Nicole texted a friend at 9:18 Sunday night, but no one has heard from her since. John, more than 6,000 people are members of a Facebook group called Bring Nicole Cable Home. People nationwide have been following this story, and now they've gotten the news they were hoping not to hear. In a wooded area off of Gilman Falls Ave in Old Town.
Unfortunately, this did not end as we wanted.
Go up to the next group of 10, next group of 10.
More than a week of searching led to a gruesome discovery.
About 9:30 p.m., a game warden and his dog located a female body in the woods.
This investigation started as a missing persons case, and sadly, it's transitioned to a homicide investigation.
15-year-old Nicole Cable was a student at Old Town High School.
She was really happy, even though she went through a lot of hard stuff in her life. She always knew how to see, the bright side of everything.
Tyler Ann Harris considered Nicole her best friend.
I've been really scared for her. And I'm just relieved that she's not suffering.
Police have charged an Orono man with Nicole's murder.
We charged Kyle Doobie, who was 20 years old, from Orono, with murder.
Harris says Nicole knew Kyle Doobie.
They had a thing a while ago, but because of his daughter, and I think he had a girlfriend. I don't know.
She says Nicole hung out with him willingly.
He would run to her rescue if he needed to. I never would have thought that he would have actually hurt her.
Doobie's Facebook page is filled with Find Nicole posts, one saying, quote, "Nicole, wherever you are, I hope you're safe." Police won't say what exactly led them to Doobie, but will say he turned himself in on unrelated charges last week.
I believe that was related to a traffic offense that he had committed, and his sentence was due to start on the 17th.
She had said that he wanted to hang out before he had to go to jail.
Harris says Nicole and Doobie never argued, and she's still in shock about what happened to her best friend. Police had asked the public to let them know if they saw a black Ford Ranger in the Glenburn area. Today, police say they've found that truck and they know who owns it. Neighbors of Kyle Doobie tell us his father drives a black Ford Ranger, and it hasn't been in the driveway for a couple of days. Friends of Doobie tell us they can't believe what they're hearing. They say he is the last person in the world they think would be charged with murder. A friend tells us Doobie was always good to his daughter and his girlfriends, and that this comes as a shock. As for Nicole's family, they tell us they're in agony. Kyle Doobie will be in court tomorrow morning. We will be there and we'll bring you updates on TV5 News. And it was a risk. Brain surgery not approved by the FDA for Tourette's, but it was a chance this family was willing to take. As Ben Cheshire lists off his chores.
Filling the wood box, sweeping, helping clean the house, drying the dishes, mowing the lawn. I like mowing the lawn.
You're probably wondering why a kid in his 20s would be so excited about manual labor.
Is this what you do all the time?
Yeah.
You can't stop it at all?
No.
For Ben, these are all things he couldn't do 6 months ago.
If I hadn't had that surgery, I'd probably be still up in my room, watching movies, playing video games.
Not having a life.
Not having a life.
In February, Ben went to New York to have deep brain stimulation, a surgery that was hopefully going to change his life.
The idea of someone going into his brain and putting electrodes in kind of freaked me out at first.
Before the surgery, things weren't easy for Ben. His tics were so severe, it was hard for him to do most things.
I've spent years and years and years watching them tick endlessly and hurting themselves.
Ben returned home to Maine a new person.
He wasn't staggering or stomping or anything. He just walked in. I was like, wow, it worked.
And he's got his smile back and his jokester attitude.
DBS is FDA approved as a treatment for Parkinson's, but not Tourette's, something this family wants to change.
Hopefully someday I plan to stand before the FDA in Washington with a pamphlet with information and proof and show them that they can approve this for Tourette's because it does work, and it is something that gives hope to people out there.
Both of Ben's brothers and his sister have Tourette's. The boys might end up having the same surgery.
I have a tic where I will continuously say different phrases over and over again, and I'll breathe in and out really fast, and I'll almost pass out because it's causing me to hyperventilate.
For their mother, all that matters is that her kids have hope.
And let them have a life, and let them be able to be self-sustaining and work and take a job and go to college and become something and make something of their life.
It's going to be a long journey. Ben is still in recovery. The family will need to come up with the money if the other two boys have the surgery, and they'll be making lots of trips to New York. But none of that matters.
I have my son back, and that's what makes it all worthwhile, the trips and the money. It doesn't matter how much I had to spend or how many times I had to go to New York, because it was worth seeing him have the relief and being able to sit still and rest and sleep.
While Ben rests, his mom won't.
I'm not stopping. If it's going to help one, it's going to help them, help all of them.
She's busy trying to help other people with Tourette's, because now that Ben's cry for a cure has been answered, she wants to make sure other families have hope.
20 years.
Mary YB, the mom, has a petition online at change.org. She wants the FDA to approve this surgery for Tourette's. That way more people can be helped. She's getting reaction from people as far away as California. We have a link to the petition on WABI.tv. Just click on features to find the story. As for Ben, he plans on going to college in the future, something he never thought he would be able to do. Every NASCAR fan has a favorite part of the sport.
The Rex? And the Rumble?
Michael Kelly likes the action. He also likes the drivers.
Can't believe you got Jeff Gordon in there upside down. We took a little trip this February to North Carolina. And to see what? NASCAR Hall of Fame, of course.
His bedroom is a Hall of Fame of its own.
That was Michael's first encounter with Tony Stewart. Yeah, I mean, how many kids have met, let's say, Richard Childress and Kevin Harvick? I mean, I could list off, and he remembers them all. The early years of the boys at the racetrack.
Michael was born a healthy kid, but then things took a turn.
Look out the window? Yeah. What do you see out there? Low muscle tone. His hips were constantly either out of the socket or needing a surgery. So I counted up the first 6 years of his life, he spent 27 months in a body cast, his preferred position.
It's been 22 years, and his pit crew of doctors still can't figure out why his body is crashing.
Does he have cerebral palsy? No. Does he have spina bifida? No. Does he have muscular dystrophy? No.
One thing they do know is a name.
Rare genetic chromosomal disorder. So rare that it has never been identified yet in the human world. It's been only in the plant world. It was called triplication of chromosome 17.
He's never been able to walk.
He has the titanium rod in his back in addition to the plates and the screws in the hip. So he's like a bionic man.
Physically, his life hasn't been on the smoothest track.
Some days are long, some days we don't sleep.
But one thing's clear.
His mind is good, and his body is not so good. You know, he's just stuck, a regular kid stuck in a body that doesn't work so well.
You should never count Michael out of the race. Doctors don't know why Michael has this strange genetic disorder. His mom, Carol, tells us she's been told it's likely no one else will ever have exactly what Michael has. It's been difficult to get any services for him because he doesn't fit into any of the specific categories. They do the best they can, a lot of times just by winging it.